Welcome back to another Mom Life Pep Talk. Today we are talking about what are you making it mean? And this is all about like perspectives on life and our experiences because if you really look at life and the experiences that we go through, everything that happens to us, that happens for us, that happens to other people that we see, we attach a meaning or a perspective on that. And so a lot of times, like I had a breathwork session with a good friend of mine the other day, and after the session, we were just talking, and this session was all around um, feeling like resting is lazy or unproductive. And what's interesting is that it's not the act of resting itself that's lazy or unproductive. It's the fact that we're making it mean that it's lazy or unproductive. And so I want you to really think about things in your life that maybe you've beat yourself up in your head about. Just like, I'll give you an example from my life when I don't get up when my alarm goes off and I kind of beat myself up in the head. And now I'm aware of it and I can shift that perspective, right? I can shift my belief around that and choose what I want to believe and what meaning I want to put on that. But at the time, I was making it mean that I wasn't staying true to myself. I wasn't keeping my word to myself and my promise to myself. And that I was basically self-abandoning. And the reason I was doing that is because my husband was working a job where he was like 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. And so when he was home, I felt like I needed to spend extra time with him, just like snuggling in the morning or whatever. And so then I would self-sacrifice. I would abandon my own needs, wants, wishes, desires, whatever, to feel like I was meeting his need. And was that what he needed? Not necessarily, but I hadn't opened up the conversation and had it with him saying, hey, I'm going to keep my same schedule when you're gone and when you're home. And so I will be getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go do my journaling, my breath work, whatever I want to do that morning. And then we have our set time together. And I am not all about, like, I do want some spontaneity in my life and especially in my relationship. But if we can have this set time that's like, okay, his need is physical touch, mine is not. And so if we can have this time that it's like, all right, at night we put the kids to bed and then him and I can snuggle up on the couch and just watch a movie or a show before we go to bed, then that might fulfill his need for physical touch. And so, and then of course you have like your bedtime activities that you can do as well. So there's that. And it's like, where can we stop self-abandoning and what are we making everything that we're doing mean? And so just really think about that. Like, what are you making it mean when you take time for yourself for 30 minutes to go out and do something that you want to do? What are you making it mean if you don't get something done the day that you wanted to do it? Let's pretend you have a mile-long to-do list and you think that you can get all of it checked off in one day. Well, what are you making it mean when that doesn't happen? You're not good enough, you're not productive enough, you didn't do enough, you need to hustle more, right? And so just really think about where you're beating yourself up in your head, what you're making it mean, and how your perspective on all experiences is what is shaping your own reality. Because what is reality? Well, reality is just our perspective of it, right? Somebody else might be in the exact same room, have the exact same situation, and a completely different perspective. And so, what do you want to choose? You get to decide to hold your own perspective. You get to choose the meaning that you want to place on things. And so, make it something that feels good to you. And maybe even don't make it mean anything at all. Like, that's what I'm kind of leaning into. Like, oh, if I want to rest, I'm going to rest. And I'm not going to make it mean that my business is going to fail or that I was unproductive today. Because what if rest is productive? And so, just choosing to just kind of detach the meaning that we're placing on everything, especially when it comes to our own choices. If you choose it and it feels good to you, then it is. It is. And you are worthy of it and you deserve it. And if you are realizing that you are abandoning yourself for someone else, then maybe it's time to stop doing that. And instead, getting out of bed when you say you're going to get out of bed, get your journaling and breath work done, and not make it mean that you're abandoning your partner and you're not giving them the time that they need, because you can do that sometime else as well. And so just do what you want, do what feels good to you, and don't attach the meaning to it. Don't beat yourself up in your head for it. Just allow it because it can be. And I will talk to you next time.